cuz. Yeah, listen. So I'm going to tell you all about the days that I was a security guard and how that affected me emotionally. I remember one time I was a security guard at a grocery store, and I was stood up front by all the tellers and whatnot, everybody bagging their groceries and all that jazz. And this couple, this elderly couple, I say elderly, they're probably in their 50s, their middle 50s, came up to me, they approached me, the wife saying, hey, do you mind calling us a taxi cab so we can get a ride home? And I said, listen, I can't do that, but there's a payphone over yonder, over that way, and you can call and get a taxi cab that way. And she flipped out. She went crazy. You look like a effing idiot. Oh, you look like an idiot. And finally, I got sick of it. I looked right at her, not even looking at the guy now, who's way taller than me with long gray hair, looked like a heroin addict tweaker. I say, shut the F up, you stupid B word. I said the actual word, and then from behind he clocks me, and I go out. I get knocked out, and I wake up on atop a fully loaded grocery cart. And all I can think about is, where's my hat? Because I'm a hair follically challenged individual, and I did not want people bestowing eyes upon that situation upon my scalp. So all I can think about is, where's my hat? I gotta get my hat. Where's my hat? And as I'm thinking this in my mind, he hits me again, and I go out again. I get knocked out for a second time. Finally, one of the cashiers comes over and pulls him off of me. Finally, I get my wits about me, and I go outside. And the guy's all, why didn't you fight back? I'm like, I don't know. And then I felt something move, shift in my mouth, and I pulled out half a tooth. And the guy looked at me with half a tooth and these fingers, and he gave me the stink eye, like, oh, that's gross. And it was gross. It was half a fucking tooth. And they called the boss of the grocery store, the general manager, who ended up calling him a taxi cab home. And before calling the police, and the police showed up, and they couldn't find the guy, and he turns out this guy lived in a trailer park, and they had a picture, and I didn't know if it was the guy or not. I could not tell you. I'm a bad eyewitness. People ask me, why didn't you sue this guy? How come you didn't sue? Number one, I was 19 years old. Number two, I had no idea about how the system of law worked and whatnot, and if I could sue and all that jazz. I had no idea. All I knew is I had half a tooth in my mouth, and I got my ass whooped, and now this idiot general manager expects me to finish out my shift, which I did not do. I wound up hanging out with a homeless man in the back of the store. He had a couch with a tarp over it. I ended up buying him a burrito, and we chilled there on the couch with the tarp over it, and had a swell old time. Listen, nobody respects a security guard. Nobody. Not men, especially not women. Especially not attractive women. Because I was at a Taco Bell doing security, and I remember having to go up and ask these people to leave because they were loitering on the property. And I'm like, listen, I hate to do this to you, but I'm going to have to ask you to leave. There's no loitering on the property here at the Taco Bell. And she shortens her height. She ducks down and goes, alrighty, sir, we will. Like that, basically calling me short. Meanwhile, I'm taller than she is. I'm 5'9". I'm not short. I'm average height. There's no reason to duck down as if I'm a midget. Okay, miss? I hate being a security guard. I remember one time I had to work at this bridal shop called David's Bridal in Modesto, California. And I sat there and I was texting my homies and whatnot during the shift, spinning around in my chair, just having a good old time. There's something transpired out in the parking lot, and they wanted me to call the police, and I wasn't sure the police's phone number at the time. I could have thought to myself, hey, call 911, but it didn't strike me as being an emergency situation. So I didn't know the exact police's phone number. And as the shift progressed, as the night wore on, I got up and I started talking to the employees like, hey, how long you been working here? Oh, that's cool. You like it here? You having a good time? Here at this bridal shop? Just shooting the shit, you know? And so the next day, my boss gets an email from David's bridal shop going, oh, this was the most unprofessional guard we ever had working for us. We felt no sense of security or safety with him on duty. He was texting the whole time, spinning around in his chair. Then he had the audacity to get up and try to talk to the employees at our business. I got mad and I called him on the phone. I'm like, what the deuce? What is with this email? Oh, she hung up on me and called my boss, and then my boss called me and said, hey, don't call them on the phone, So not only do you got to deal with the general public as a security guard, you got to deal with the people whom you're hired to protect as a security guard. I don't suggest it to anybody. Plus, you make a minimum wage typically at most security guard businesses. Oh, who's Vagine? My God, is that a blonde, a brunette, a redhead? My Lord. So that's it. Till next time, adios, muchachos. Boom.